What happened to Question Mark and the Mysterians?
The band members were children of migrant farmers who settled in Michigan. The original trio, consisting of Larry Borjas on guitar, Robert Martinez on drums, and Bobby Balderrama on lead guitar, encountered one another and were motivated by surf rock bands and instrumentalists like Link Wray and Dwayne Eddy to form a group in 1962. The band played locally with the same lineup until the influence of the British invasion, with groups stressing lead vocals and dynamic stage performances. Rudy Martinez, aka Question Mark, was known for his dancing ability and was suggested to the band as he was Robert Martinez's brother. Question Mark was an eccentric figure, publicly stating that his soul had originated from Mars and that he had once walked on Earth with the dinosaurs. He quickly cemented himself as the group's creative force, and they began to develop a blend of gritty rock and roll and pop rock, with a repertoire that encompassed compositions penned by the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. To correspond with the new lineup, the band took the name Question Mark and the Mysterians, which was inspired by the 1957 science fiction film The Mysterians. When the band recruited keyboard player Frank Rodriguez, who was part of another local group, the Trespassers, it was pivotal in Question Mark and the Mysterians' overall sound, especially in their song 96 Tears. In February 1966, the band auditioned for an independent record label, resulting in the demos Are You For Real and I'll Be Back, which were only released later and boasted for their very good sound quality in the 1999 album More Action. Afterwards, Larry Borjas and Robert Martinez received draft notices and opted to enlist to avoid being sent to Vietnam. The remaining band members continued while Rodriguez improvised an organ riff and Question Mark introduced a composition he had been developing for a while in his head. Auditioning for a replacement drummer resulted in Eddie Serrato, originally trained in traditional Mexican music, joining the group. Frank Lugo played bass. With this lineup, Question Mark and the Mysterians recorded 96 Tears, along with Midnight Hour for the small Pagogo label, under label executive and record producer Lily Gonzalez, who supervised the band at her 4-track recording studio in Bay City. When released in April 1966, Midnight Hour was originally the A-side for the band's debut single. However, Question Mark promoted the record across Michigan, encouraging radio stations to play 96 Tears instead. CKLW, a major station in Windsor, Ontario, extensively played the song, thus generating a number 1 regional hit. The song drew the attention of Neil Bogart, president of Cameo Parkway Records. The success of the song was attributed to the Vox Continental riff, and as a critic, Greg Shaw explained, the simplicity and precise execution. Bogart purchased the rights to 96 Tears, distributed it on a national scale, and promoted the band by booking television appearances on American Bandstand and Where the Action Is. On October 29, 1966, after a steady climb up the charts, the single peaked at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for a week, before being overtaken by the Monkees' Last Train to Clarksville. It sold over 1 million copies and was awarded a gold disc by the RIAA. The next 2 singles for Question Mark and the Mysterians, I Need Somebody and Can't Get Enough of You Baby, also charted, but were nowhere near as successful as 96 Tears. These were compiled on the album 96 Tears along with a handful of other songs. Question Mark and the Mysterians' second album, Action, featured the band at the peak of its musicianship, but the album was not a commercial success. The band then briefly recorded with Capitol Records, Tangerine Records, and Super K. The band lineup changed as the original members left for other projects. Mel Shocker, future bass player for Grand Funk Railroad, briefly became the bass guitarist along with Frank Montoya on guitar and Jeff McDonald on drums until Richard Schultz took over on bass and co-wrote several songs with Question Mark, including She Goes to Church on Sunday, which was licensed to Paul McCartney's publishing company. In the early 1970s, Question Mark and the Mysterians reformed with a different lineup, consisting of 2 guitars and no keyboards. The band attracted the attention of rock critic Dave Marsh, who coined the term punk rock in a 1971 Cream Machine article about Question Mark. In 1984, the original lineup of Question Mark and the Mysterians held a reunion concert in Dallas, Texas. Original drummer Robert Martinez returned and replaced Eddie Serrato on drums, after Serrato became ill with multiple sclerosis. The Dallas concert did not lead to a full revival for the band, but the concert was recorded and released by the New York record label ROIR, 96 Tears Forever, the Dallas Reunion Tapes. In 1992, Question Mark collaborated with rap artist Saltine, aka the Mad Rapper, on a hip-hop remake of 96 Tears. The single was released on Pandisc Records following a huge industry buzz on radio. Billboard magazine gave the single a thumbs up. In 1997, Question Mark and the Mysterians reformed again. They collaborated with New York promoter John Weiss, who made the band headliners at Cave Stomp garage rock festivals. The festivals featured many revived 60s garage and psychedelic acts. In 1998, the cover version of Can't Get Enough of You Baby by Smash Mouth reached number 14 on the Billboard Hot 100. During the 1990s, Question Mark and the Mysterians wanted to re-release their now out-of-print albums 96 Tears and Action, but were unable to because the song's rights now belong to record executive Alan Klein. In 1997, the band re-recorded their original 1966 album and released it on the Collectibles Records label. In 1998, Frank Rodriguez rejoined the band on keyboards, and Question Mark and the Mysterians released the new live album Do You Feel It Baby on Norton Records, and it achieved moderate sales. In 1999, the band released a new studio album, More Action, which was produced and recorded in New York City, with the album design by Michael Callia at Industrial Strength Design. This design caused controversy as it was not approved by Question Mark prior to the release. Coinciding with the album release, Question Mark dissolved his business relationships with Weiss, allegedly due to dissatisfaction with the record and other business issues. In 2000, Question Mark began a collaboration with New York guitarist and rock promoter Gary Fury. This collaboration led to a series of live concerts featuring Question Mark with a backing band led by Fury, featuring musicians from other garage bands in the New York area. The first backing band included Jim Royale Baglino of the Casino Royales and later Monster Magnet on bass, Sam Steinick of the Philadelphia band Mondo Topless on keyboards, and original Mysterians drummer Robert Martinez. The new group billed itself as Question Mark and the Mystery Men and played the Limelight in New York and the Black Cat in Washington, D.C. In 2002, Question Mark returned to New York to headline a 2-night garage rock festival at the CBGB Club. The lineup included Question Mark, Fury, Robert Martinez, Keith Hartel on bass, and former Pat Benatar and E Street Band keyboard player Charlie Giordano. This new band was billed as Question Mark and the New Mysterians. The new band created a multi-track recording in CBGB studio which is still unreleased. On January 10th, 2007, a fire destroyed Question Mark's home in Michigan, destroying all of his memorabilia and killing the Yorkshire Terrier dogs he was breeding at his business. To help Question Mark, his friends held several benefit shows for him, with Question Mark and the Mysterians performing at some of these events. In May 2007, he and Gary Fury played a benefit show at New York's Highline Ballroom. The backup group, known as the Playthings, featured Fury on guitar, Jim Baglino on bass, Jimmy Black of Cheetah Chrome, and Sylvain on drums, with Brian Leonard on keyboards. Guitarist Dennis Dean Lack joined the band in 1985 and was Question Mark's main guitarist and music director, and he still collaborates on new songs with Question Mark as of the recording of this video. Lack has been active in the band on and off for over 30 years, and he now resides in northern Michigan. In between these shows, Question Mark was still occasionally active with the original Mysterians. Question Mark and the original Mysterians returned to New York City to play guitarist Steven Van Zandt's Underground Garage live event, selling out the Village Underground venue. In 2006, the original members of Question Mark and the Mysterians were inducted into the Michigan Rock and Roll Legends Hall of Fame. Former Mysterians drummer Eddie Serrato passed away from a heart attack in 2011, and then in 2017, former lead guitarist Robert was diagnosed with prostate cancer in October of 2017. That's what happened to Question Mark and the Mysterians. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and give me some facts about the band that I failed to mention, and let me know who I should do next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. The band members were children of migrant farmers who settled in Michigan.